Welcome to SunnySpeaks. Here again with another review for you, and you. And today, I'm here to talk about Last Breath, directed by Alex Parkinson and starring Finn Cole, Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, and many more. Based on a true story, a ship crew battles against time and the elements when a crewmate named Chris is stranded and trapped hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface. A story I knew nothing about. I didn't even know commercial divers were a thing, or at least didn't really think about it until watching this film. And I'm glad I did, not only because this experience was intense seeing it on the big screen, but the directing, acting, and overall execution I thought was well done. Chris Lemons is our main character, kind of, played by Finn Cole. I honestly think a lot of what this character provides is pretty cliche. Even though it's based on something real, I do think that's a fair criticism. I think Finn Cole does a good job at making you care about the character Chris, though. This isn't his first dive, but for obvious reasons and things that they bring up in the beginning of the film, he's nervous about this particular dive. My favorite parts of Chris's character were him interacting with Woody Harrelson's character, Duncan Alcock. They have a mentor-mentee dynamic that I appreciated and I believed. And when he is trapped at the bottom of the ocean, his acting in those moments I thought was really good. But I do think the situation heightens the connection to the character more than his performance does. Only because I don't really believe he's allowed to do much because of the positioning that his character is in. Woody Harrelson is Woody Harrelson in this movie. Likeable, brash, and overall enjoyable to watch in this. His character, Duncan Alcock, is dealing with being an elder in his profession as a diver, while still feeling like he can run with the young guys. His conflict as a man being pushed away from something that he loves to do because of his age, I felt the most out of any other character. And the way he interacted with Chris and Simu Liu's character, David Yuassa, hopefully I'm saying that right, I thought was really good. He's the elder out of those three characters that we follow, and I think that the way that he talks to them is very protective and also very uncle-esque. But I think their dynamics between all three of them works really well, and when things do hit the fan, I think that he creates a really cool urgency that the movie has, because throughout the whole runtime before, he is kind of just joking and being cool, and when things get serious, there are no jokes said, and everything is very, very serious. Simu Liu as David Yuassa was really fun. They set him up as an asshole with a kind heart, and that is very, very cliche, but to me I think it worked only because of how dangerous their profession is. But when the rescue begins, he's really the main character and kind of the hero of the story, and his struggle to get Chris back was very easy to root for. The two things I enjoyed the most about this film were the special effects, especially when the mission goes wrong, and the heart of the film, even though that also bleeds into the negatives of this. The effects in this movie are very effective in my opinion, making you feel the fear of seeing nothing but darkness at the bottom of the ocean was very effective. Chris's character actually says to his girlfriend that it's like being an astronaut, it's like walking on the moon or being in space. And the way that they were able to show that visually, I thought was really cool, because it is very similar to other maybe space exploration movies that you or I have seen. So I thought that similarity was really cool, while also being very different in how it's shown. One of my favorite shots was when Chris is already at the bottom of the ocean and he's using flares to light his way, and he finds the area he needs to go to be located by the ship. He starts to climb, but having to use both of his hands, he drops the flare. And it's a really cool shot of him climbing up as the flare is slowly dying out, and you see him like looking back down and going back up, and how slow it is, and also like how they show like the bubbles and everything. I don't know, I just thought that shot in particular really spoke to me, and also spoke to how scary this position would even be. That was my favorite shot of the film. I thought it was really cool and definitely made me connect to almost everything going on moving forward. I will say though that at the end of the movie, especially with stuff that David is doing when he's saving Chris, there is a part where the CGI does look kind of to me, but I did let it slide overall because it is a real story that happened, and I do think that deserves some points or at least just to not bash on it too hard. This story is really about a group of coworkers who do a dangerous job deciding to put their life on the line for their peer. And I really appreciated that message. But that's the thing though, it does create some cheesy and corny moments. Because this is a real thing that happened, I let it slide, but it does affect the immersion at points. Overall, I would give this film a mostly cloudy rating. I enjoyed it more than I expected to and came out of the film with a good feeling and learned something new about the world. Not a film I've thought about much after seeing it, but did enjoy my experience. The people around me seemed like they enjoyed it, which is really cool. I saw it during the secret movie series at Cinemark, and when the movie started, somebody next to me was like, yes, and I thought that was really, I'd never experienced that, so I thought that was really cool to just see somebody excited about the movie that we're seeing, and I do think that it is a movie that's worth talking about. I thought about not doing a review for it, but I don't know. I thought it was a really cool, interesting story, and it's a real thing that happened, which I think is crazy. The real guy, Chris Lemons, was drowning basically for almost 30 minutes with no oxygen in his suit, and the fact that he survived that, and then they show behind the scenes of him then going back down again for another dive with the same team is crazy to me. But shout out to them. I'm glad that he survived that. I'm glad that they all survived that. And yeah, this has been my review of Last Breath. If you have seen Last Breath, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, because perspective is key. And if you haven't, let me know if this review makes you want to go see the movie or not. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I'll be back again, and peace.